The next type of exponential equations must be solved using logarithms because we will not be able to get the same base. We will use this property that allows us to rewrite the exponent as a coefficient. This property is for any base, but I will be using the natural logarithm, which is base e. I will also be using the TI-83 calculator. The process is given. You must isolate the base first or you will not get the correct answer. In this first problem, the base of 7 is already isolated. I now need to take the natural log of both sides. I will now use the log property to bring down the exponent and make it a coefficient. X is now being multiplied by the natural log of 7. In order to solve, I need to divide both sides by the natural log of 7. This is the algebraic answer, but let's get a decimal approximation. Be very careful about the parentheses on your calculator. Here, the base of 8 is isolated. We take the natural log of both sides. We need to be very careful when bringing down the exponent. We need to put it in parentheses because all of it is multiplied by the natural log of 8. We have choices on how we can solve for x. We could distribute the natural log of 8, or we could just divide by the natural log of 8. I will divide. Now I just solve for x normally. I need to add 1 and then divide by 2. And now we'll use the calculator to get a decimal approximation. I go ahead and punch enter or equals and then divide by 2. Here is the example of why I choose the natural log instead of log base 10. We first need to isolate the base by adding 7 to both sides. I will take the natural log of both sides and bring down that exponent. Since natural log and e are inverse functions, they cancel each other out. Remember that the natural log of e is 1. You still have the natural log of 20 on the right-hand side. Now solve for x as usual. In this problem, the base is not isolated. The base is just this part. We need to move the 8. Since it is being multiplied to the base of 6, we need to divide. Now take the natural log of both sides. Use our log property. Now solve for x. When using the calculator, please note that the natural log of 3/8 is not the same as the natural log of 3 divided by the natural log of 8. This problem has exponents on both sides, but each base is isolated. I take the natural log of both sides, bring down those exponents. I will distribute here because dividing by the natural log of 4 will not do me any good. Since I have two terms that have x squared, I need to get them together on one side of the equation. I will add the x squared natural log of 4 term to each side. Here is the trick step. You need to factor out the x squared. I can now divide by this expression. The very last step is to take the square root of both sides to solve for x. On the calculator, notice that the whole denominator is placed in parentheses. The plus or minus sign is because of the square root. This last problem is the same as before. The hard part is the calculator part. Let's just follow along. Again, I need to distribute. I need all the terms with x, the blue ones, on one side, and all the non-x terms, yellow, on the other side. I need to factor out the x. Now divide.